Order. This is the Stony Brook Community District Development, and it's November 14th. And all board members are present at roll call. Chuck Adams is stuck in traffic. Yes, Chuck is in traffic. Jeff is at a golf tournament. Tyler Leone is here in his place, and so we can get started. Roll call. Public comments? Okay. All right, John, you're on.
Okay. We'll do this a bit last.
Okay.
We'll go over that last. So I need to increase the Common Grounds uniform budget by a little bit, by like maybe $1,500 for the year.
Okay.
Now that we got these extra people, just got them some new shirts. Or I can just go over, it doesn't matter. I just want to let you know.
That's kind.
We got the new loader in. It's amazing. It's wonderful. Come to find out, our current bucket and forks for the other loader will fit and interchange. So now we got multiple sets, different styles. That's really cool. We didn't think that was the case in the beginning. What else? The back exit's been sodded. There's still about 4 or 5 pallets short. That's supposed to happen yesterday.
Looks good.
But I haven't seen them. Yeah, luckily we got a little bit of that rain over the weekend. Helps because there's no irrigation out there, remember? So eventually that's going to go dormant, until we get rain again.
It rained last night too.
And it rained a little bit, yeah, like very little bit.
Yeah,
better than nothing. Better than nothing. You can really see in the grass too. The grass will green up. You get this flush of green because that nitrogen in the atmosphere. It was really nice to see that. Staffing. We're still a Common Grounds manager short on the Common Grounds. I may move somebody up. I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
Who are you thinking of, or don't you want to say?
Yeah, no, his name's Kevin. He's doing really good. He's taking charge, so he's taking that initiative. You can tell he wants it. He's just not. He doesn't have the agronomic background.
Okay.
But at this point, he does a really good job of getting them going in the morning. And
What's Kevin's last name?
Lohr, L-O-H-R.
Okay.
So I'm still working that out. I'm still trying to figure all that out. We are currently fully staffed with on the golf course, sort of. All 3 were supposed to start this week. 2 have started so far. The other one has missed the first 2 days. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that individual yet. I'm going to talk to Todd today and see what he wants to do. So we've gotten rid of the day laborers, which were actually good. They're really good people, really good workers. They just didn't have a ride, so they couldn't become our employee full time. That was the unfortunate part. We may be calling one of them back. We'll see, because of what we got going on currently with that situation. So we're fully staffed with the 3 extra people.
Okay, great.
But we've run into an issue. And it's my fault. I'll go ahead and say this. I dropped the ball on this one. We now have a cart issue.
Oh.
Because our leases were for the current employee size that we had. So now we're kind of having a logistic issue of getting everybody where they need to go. We've got to double up a lot of people. Obviously, if some people are on a piece of equipment in the afternoon, that's one less cart that they're not on. So we are currently waiting on a big lease package from Wesco, but it's, I told you, I think last time I told you, updated you, was January 1. That's not even still a guarantee. And the way it's looking, it doesn't sound good.
Okay.
But I called Dustin Frost, he's our Wesco rep, and I talked to him. I said, hey, let me get a dollar buyout, or let me get the buyout on what we currently have. And plus give me a quote for a new lease with 3 carts. And we'll kind of compare and contrast once I get that information to see what would be,
most economical and the best for the staff.
Right.
Okay.
And I was joking with Dustin, hey, I was like, does it matter what 3 carts I take when you give me this dollar buyout? He's like, no, it usually doesn't matter because the hours are so similar. So I joked with him so I can basically take all the best parts off every cart I got. Put on one, make 3, but no, you can't do that. I'm just kidding. So that's an issue that I should have foresaw, but I didn't until it happened. Especially when we ran, 2 days with 2 extra people on top of the 3, and I was like, whoa, this is too many people.
Yeah.
This is just too many people, and we don't know. So I'll get back to you probably next month. I'll have something more,
Okay,
some numbers
perfect.
with that. So that's what's going on. Golf course, we've been spraying it on. You can see the rough, the signal grass is doing great. I mean, that process is going along perfectly. We couldn't ask for better weather. It's really looking good. It's really getting cleaned up. Lake banks as well, Mr. Olive, I don't know if you noticed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've been staying on top of that. We haven't just been spraying. So all that's looking really good. By J1, we'll be done spraying here probably in a week or so. And the other thing going on after that will be like a foliar fertilizer. What else? Really, that's it on the golf course. Common grounds, we put out the mulch. We're edging mowing right now currently. They're out here right now, edging cart paths, walkways. Everything's going pretty good there, other than that last employee we're trying to get in. And now the bridge quotes.
The bridges.
The bridges. So I contacted TJ with Artistic Structures. They've always been like the preeminent people for bridges in this area. I really don't know of anybody else, but I'm sure there's plenty of contractors out there that are willing. So I contacted him last week. I was able to find, if you look, the quote from 2014, which is interesting. And that quote was for a total of $249,000,
Okay.
basically.
And what is this total?
This one, okay, so here's where this gets interesting. When I was talking to TJ last week, I said, TJ, I explained the situation. I said, what are some good numbers? He's like, I tell you what, if you use $500 a linear foot, that's a good number. He's like, that's a very good number. I said, okay, cool. So I did it, and I got this whole quote, and I seen the linear footage is like 665 linear feet. Well, that's $337,000, I believe. Right? 500 times 665? What do you got, 337? Yeah. Right? So, okay. I said, time frame, he said, 65 linear feet a week is, even in the summertime, storms, this and that, yada, yada. He's like, that's a number you can count on, you can depend on, conservative.
Okay.
Okay, cool, so that's about 10 weeks, 11 weeks if you look and do the math. Not a problem, because one bridge is on 13, the other 6 are on the front 9. So it would be, do 13 it's 65 feet, perfect, a week. Do 13 for a week, shut down the front, back for a week. Now the back is open rest of the summer, and we have 10 weeks to do the front. Which 6 of those 10 are going to be on number 5, because it's the bridge. So obviously the next process is go to number 5. You have to do the back bridge first, so we can still have access to the hole to maintain it. So you have to do the back bridge first,
Right.
and then proceed to do the other 2 bridges. Chris, I spoke with you and Jeff. We had to sit down on the educational thing, on the scholarships, if you will. And I mentioned that to Jeff and Mr. Brady. But I get a call today, I'm spraying, and it's TJ, and he's like, hey, he called me last night asking me, hey, do you need a quote? I was like, it would be nice. It would be really nice. It would look better on your part. He's like, all right, I'll put something together. I was like, you already have the lengths, the distances, the number. You already gave me a $500 linear. You said that would be good. And I'm spraying. I said, when I get back to the shop, I'll print this out and I'll bring it. Well, if you look at the math, that's now $440-some thousand. That's $641,000. There's $641 a linear foot is what I have on this total number, if you add this number up. And that was quick math. When I got to the shop, I hopped off the sprayer, printed this stuff out, I was looking at it, I'm like, I added all the numbers, and so I don't know how we went from 500 a linear foot to being a good number to now we're at 641. That's a difference. That's a substantial difference. $100,000.
Can you give him a quick call?
I did when I was there. He didn't, I don't know if doing it in the meeting would be a smart thing, you know what I mean?
Well,
We're not doing this tomorrow, so.
Right.
no, but I mean,
Well, we need to get it scheduled.
But we do need to get it scheduled, exactly. That's
When
about
are we planning on doing this?
summertime.
the summer.
Okay, so you want to put it on the calendar for something?
Right, and we were looking at, according to Mr. Pritchett, he's the owner of Artistic Structures, he was speaking of starting in mid to late July and ending mid-September, mid to
Okay.
late September, which is fine for us, on the time. Even anywhere in between there, you know, sometime in between there, it doesn't matter. We're still gonna have the back nine open,
Right.
you know.
Well, we did that one other year when you were doing the fairways. They just played half and then half.
No, yeah, that's right, back in 2012.
John, does this proposal include replacing the pilings?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a full thing.
Full thing. This is a full thing.
Yeah, because Adam and I drove the course, and we can't wait.
No, they're 30 years old, and they're 25-year bridges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, John, could you just try, when we, just try to give him a quick call,
Right now?
if you could, yeah. So while you're doing that...
What do you want me to ask? I don't want to just have them ramble.
It's 620, he quoted this at 612, and he'd said 500. Just ask him which is the number we're working with.
Right.
And that-
Because when
I wouldn't ask him, I would more like negotiate. What the heck?
when he called me, I was
Question
spraying.
mark at the end of that statement.
Right, okay.
Well, when he called me when I was spraying, he had said, hey, there was, the cost of wood is going up, there's some stuff I didn't even see, there's, so I was like, okay, fine, when I get back to the office, I'll look, I'm just busy spraying, I can't. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, well, he's still gonna be within that $500 number, because he was saying it was, last one they did was with like $470 a linear foot. So, that's what I was thinking. So now, I get back to the shop, and like I said, I did the math with $641 a linear foot, that's,
Yeah, I don't think we need to rush to get a proposal.
Have we given up the idea of making 13 the land bridge?
that wasn't in my discussion at all with him, I didn't,
I thought that
it could be
was-
done, but that wasn't in my discussion with him as far as, hey, what's the cost of doing bridges?
We can always eliminate the bridge.
You know, it's limited, and that may save us some money, right? That may save us, but there's gonna be probably, permitting involved in that, there's gonna be approval.
I thought you got a number for that, and it was something crazy.
No, that was for number 4.
Okay.
From a different company.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah, and that was like, gonna be around 80,000, I think, if everything's said and done, so.
I think we should get multiple bids anyway.
Totally.
And, with a number like this, obviously, but I would also look at what is the specification that we're requesting? I know we got a proposal on some removable thing. That may not be what we ultimately end up doing, but I think exploring that, maybe exploring a composite material on the top side that lasts and ages better, maybe more spacing to allow the sand and stuff to go through. It's not my area of expertise.
Sure.
But it's kind of I think there's some things that can be done that would
Right.
extend the life of it the next time around.
And according to Mr. Pritchett, some of those things you mentioned are, these current bridges are under-engineered. They're 5-ton bridges,
Yeah.
and they're under-engineered slightly. So not that it matters, you're never going to see that anyway, but the newer ones are engineered a little bit better. The style's going to be the same, stylistically it'll be the same. There'll be more of a 6-ton bridge, but engineered for 6 tons. As far as composite material or anything like that, we didn't talk about that. He did say that the spacings on these current bridges are too wide. They should have been tighter. And that's just the way they were designed at the time.
Which direction?
We'll show with the lateral boards that we've been replacing, the bigger ones, yeah.
Not the width of the actual bridge, but in between.
No, in between, the gap should be tighter.
Which means more wood, if there's less.
Right, yeah, at the end of the day, more wood.
I think we're not in a rush, but based on our conversation, was it Thursday or whatever, it sounds like at least this company is booked pretty far out. Like
Right.
already till May of June of next year, so it is something that we...
Plus,
Sooner than later.
we need to see what our loan terms are. We need to go seek a loan.
I was gonna ask you, did you have a conversation with Chuck or email or anything?
Nothing on that.
Well, I have no problem approving that we do this to a certain amount, but I want to get a couple other bids.
Yeah.
Well, we have 2 weeks?
Yes, sir.
Meeting, basically?
Tony?
Yeah, I guess the question, John, is if the scope does not include engineered drawings or site plans, then won't the village require those to do this work?
Okay, so you're looking at this one, right, the 2-page? This was an old one from 14, so I don't, I have to,
And you want to have that out of there?
The new one's 80%.
Engineering, and 8 Bridge, yes,
Permits, engineering.
Okay, I'm sorry.
he does have that, so that's on.
yeah, down below it says permitting engineering, eight
At the very bottom.
bridge permits. I think we have 7 bridges. 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
These are golf cart only bridges, right? Do trucks go over these things, y'all take trucks over these?
No.
It's for golf carts.
No, we even tried, like, so when we're top dressing greens and we have our big tractor with our carrying our sand, we don't even go over bridges, we go around, just,
Loop around.
it's not even worth it, no. Yeah, and I noticed here on this first one too, I gotta see, it says 8 bridge permits, we only need 7, so I don't know what that would bring that little cost down a little bit. We only have 7
You
bridges.
said the total's over 500,000?
No.
Under.
Under 500,000? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I think on the second was a 443 or, if we did the math, we add all those up. Oh wait, I think I have it. Somewhere.
But I think we did talk to her, it's not considered reserve.
427,293.
Okay, thank you.
427, 290.
And John, from your perspective, the truck would be, this is improving bridges, correct?
Yes,
And also you mentioned that there'd be more piling, it sounds like?
I can't speak on that. I'd have to let the engineer, they're engineered to be a higher rated tonnage bridge. So, but the pilings, the current pilings will be replaced. It'll be a complete replacement.
Thank you.
well, I think, we need to do this.
Yeah,
And John-
this definitely has to be done. I mean,
Yes. So John, what I'll ask you before the next meeting is to get 1, possibly 2 more bids on this. Let's speak to Chuck about getting a loan for $450,000. Give us a little buffer there. And I'm sure with our credit rating, that won't be a problem. We'll be paying off the bunker loan, and they gave us that when we were still struggling.
yeah,
So,
and that's kind of one of the things we talked about. That was almost a dollar for dollar thing when we were looking at comparing at 337, but now we're at 430, so
Yeah,
Plus, the interest rates are gonna be
higher.
now, we did the bunkers, so.
Right.
They're almost a couple doubles.
so, oh, absolutely. So-
I was gonna ask Chuck, hopefully Chuck does, because I was gonna ask Chuck for some, if he knew anybody, because that specializes in this bridge.
Well, he'll be here, he's just stuck in
Because
traffic.
a lot of contractors I could go to are just gonna call artistic short, and they're basically subcontract.
Yeah,
mean,
okay.
I know it's short, but if we could have something by December.
I'll try, I'm gonna
Yes.
try.
Because that was the biggest thing is, we only have,
We have a short
we
window.
have a short window based on revenue. We could have it done anytime. It just depends how much we want to lose from a business standpoint.
Right,
But it makes more sense.
July,
for us
August,
to
and
do is-
September.
Yeah, sometime July, August, September, when I believe you said he was already booked out to almost June.
July, that's why he had said
Yeah,
mid-July, right?
So that's just him, but if that's the norm in the business, then we do need to make
To
a
jump
decision
on it.
fairly quick to get something booked.
and there's a couple times that we're closed for a week anyway.
Not necessarily a week, no.
No, we do.
3 days, remember, it's only
3 days, okay.
Monday,
but that-
Tuesday, Wednesday.
But that will be good too, because it'll get...
So, yeah, I mean, at 4 closings, that's 12 actual business days, so that's two weeks, 2 solid business weeks that wouldn't be affected
Okay.
out of that time.
And when I
So
spoke...
really, we're closing down for, let's say it's a 10-week process, really, we're closing down 9 holes, just
Yeah.
9, for 8 weeks.
Yeah,
No,
yes,
no, because it's a 10-week project, yeah, so 8 weeks.
okay. I know, in speaking with Jeff briefly, he said he was going to he's budgeting for lighter revenue for the summer, for that period of time. So let's make this a priority for the next meeting.
So to your guys' point though, do I need to ask these new, whoever I can find, do I need to ask them about turning 13 into a land bridge?
I
Or
would,
composite material?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because composite material, we know is gonna drive the price.
Okay, but get
Way
both.
up.
Get both. I'd like it with the wood, and could you also give me an estimate on making that as a composite? So we have, so if one is this amount and the other is, we have something to look at to determine which way we're going to go.
If I can get this in 2 weeks, I won't. I want a big pat on the back.
Actually, we have 4
Well, it's
weeks.
not like it's a holiday either.
Yeah, we have 4 weeks.
It's 3. No, what the hell?
3, all right.
John, I'll help you with it if you want.
I'm just curious, I mean.
Usually what happens, you just hit the diversity of that, I mean, tell us
knowledge
what.
in this area, but the composite versus the wood, I mean, obviously the composite. How much longer, is composite you're just gonna do forever?
I don't know that it's going to be forever, but I think the lifespan of it's going to be at least 3 times.
And so, what would they use? Of course, would they use composite for the actual pilings?
See, that's the thing, no, pilings, no, but I don't even,
Yeah, but the composite's going to absorb all the sunlight. It's going to absorb, the majority of the rainfall. Well, it doesn't actually absorb it because it's mainly.
I get that, but the pilings would probably need to be replaced every 25 to 30 years, correct?
Probably.
So if they're doing pilings.
not necessarily.
I'm just throwing that out. I know it could help us with repairs and all the stuff on the surface, but the pilings themselves would still be wood, so we're still looking at a structure that's going to.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see what the pilings look like when we pull them all apart. And even if we did like the ones that get more abuse or something with a composite, and for the next time around, you learn something.
Yeah, I'm just, I don't know, this is what would it cost for pilings, the concrete, would that be just crazy?
It would drive the price up.
Yeah. Sure would.
significant.
Yeah.
So basically just replace what we have, but maybe considering composite.
Yeah, maybe I'll get a feel like, hey, you
far as
guys ever
design.
do composite, what's the feel on that,
Because we don't have like an architectural design that they're gonna present, it's just, okay.
Because the
I've got
pilings
that
would not be the pilings. The pilings would be.
No, but my question would be, is it's not even gonna be like the
Basically
3x8s.
Yearly maintenance and all that, and certainly the surface would be less, maintenance would last longer, but at the end of the day, we would still have the bridge 25 to 30 years from now, would have to be replaced with pilings.
And to that point, not necessarily the surface would last longer, because if it's gonna be composite on wood, then you're trapping, once again, sand, stuff down in there, letting it sit and stay wet, rotting the wood underneath.
Okay, well, John, you have your mission for the next couple of weeks.
Yes, I do.
And just touch base with, well, when Chuck comes in, we'll ask him about looking at loans.
Yes, and maybe some other vendors or contractors that do this,
Yes. So,
actually, but I'll look.
okay.
Tony, what is the process if we go over $500,000?
Then we have to solicit competitive bids.
If we go above $500,000.
Yeah.
Well, it's approximate. The old cost was less than that, but then by the time you factor in, I think Chuck and I have talked about in the past, the engineering record index since January 2009, bringing it forward. I think Chuck said the number's about 490, almost 500,000 nowadays, if I recall correctly.
Okay, so if we go for,
It's prudent to get other bids anyway, regardless.
oh, yeah,
right,
look at other
right.
bids, but, I mean, the loan would be like for
Whether we were
450.
required to.
Yes.
And.
Like I said, these are the preeminent.
Yes.
Most people, if they're gonna call a contractor, they're just gonna call them to do the work, and make more money, so
Seems pretty simple. Seems like a simple job that any contractor could do.
I don't know if there's different law license, I don't know.
It's,
I mean, any general contractor.
Gateway that had an interesting experience replacing a boardwalk through a conservation area. The bidding process was interesting. But that was a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So it's, you think it should be pretty black and white, it got interesting.
Yeah,
Good for 9 months of contract.
Fortunately, there's no conservation area involved.
just, yes. So, okay, thanks, John. Oh, okay, well, we'll get to you on the next thing.
John, good job
Oh.
getting the bridges safe again,
No problem, man, we're working on it.
Oh, did you give Tony one?
Yes.
Chuck one for Chuck?
I did not get one,
I'll hand mine to Chuck when he shows up.
Okay.
because I think I have enough.
I wonder where he is.
Stuck in, well, he was stuck on 41. Okay,
All the roads get interesting when I 75.
yes.
So I don't know if you know this now.
Well, let's continue on, because this will be both groups. Okay. Okay, John?
What, number 4?
Are you done? We didn't
Yes,
get-
I'm done.
Okay. Tyler?
Okay, so there are a few updates from the pro shop. The new range mats will be installed this Friday and Saturday. November is so far looking on course to finish in budget. Our Christmas party will be scheduled for December 14th at 12 p.m. Thanksgiving Day, the pro shop will be closing at 12, and we are going to leave the range open.
Christmas Day?
Christmas Day, we are it's closed.
That's the only days we're closed.
We are closed
But
Christmas
the range is
Day.
open.
Most likely,
The
yes.
lunch, is it at the tent or is it?
I believe we're getting in.
Tent?
The tent, right?
That's what we did last time.
Yeah.
We'll
I
most
missed
likely
last.
do- yes.
Yes, we'll do it at the 10.
Noon, yes, at 12 p.m.
That's 14th, correct?
14, yes.
Yes, the 14th. And then, other than that, Jeff is aware of the summer project with the bridges. He's on board on that. And the pro shop is doing well this month, and we're excited for season.
I will say that the pro shop is really good. You guys have done a great job.
But other than that,
Okay. And then you have the calendar here. So that's the Christmas party. So Christmas Eve, you're closing it at 1 p.m. as well?
yes.
Okay.
And Christmas party on the 14th.
We have a pre-emergent on the 12th, Tuesday the 12th, so that, we'll be closing, I think,
At noon?
yeah, we might be straight tea times that day, I forget how we did it.
Yes.
Or we were straight tea times on the 12th, and then we'll be closing, and last tea times are like noon, noon 30. Hey,
Okay.
there's Chuck. Excuse me.
It's, hi.
Weed and fertilizer.
It's still warm.
Trying to figure out which one of these old taxes. Trying to figure out which one goes with.
Okay. And that's all, Tyler?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, the Carter fence. Can we just roll back a bit, Chuck, now that you're here? We were talking about the bridges, and John has one estimate. He's going to get a couple more for the next meeting. But we're looking to do this mid-July to mid-September. But we will need a loan for about $450,000. So if you can,
No, the problem will, our conversation's probably in May or June.
yes.
Actually pull that together pretty quickly. Hopefully by then interest rates will go down even more.
Well, that's a relief. At least the money thing is not like pushing us.
Right.
And John's also inquiring if you know any other bridge.
Right, so I got artistic structures. I'm gonna call Clark Construction. But I mean, as far as like just, like artistic structures, that's what they do is bridges.
Yeah.
They're like the number, you know, you might even work with them in the past, TJ Pritchard.
Yeah, I might be able to come up with a couple others.
Okay. That'd be great. And if you could have those to me by the end of the day, that's awesome. Because I got till next meeting to get this to the board.
We're concerned because
The proposal today probably won't hold by next July.
Right.
The one that was artistic that we got the quote from already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
They're already
booking.
booked out till June of next year, so we want to try to do this in July to September timeframe. So
Keeping the design as it is, not
Yeah.
fancy.
Yeah.
Just a little concerned about if we don't get this potentially done by December and wait till January, we might be pushing our
our window out, which hurts us on the revenue side.
The only thing that we made change is making that bridge on 13 a land bridge, so we've asked to get prices on both.
Or piling separation, I think, moving closer, was that a thought, John?
No,
Okay.
Okay.
You know, I'm sorry, back on the
Well,
land
a
bridge.
land bridge splitting the lake?
no.
No, it's just a wet area.
Oh, okay.
But you'd still have to put pipe in there, because there is water that goes.
Right.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure we weren't splitting the lake and creating a basin issue for the stormwater permit, so.
Okay. Okay. Okay, well, we're on the golf course.
The only thing is Jeff's not here.
Right, but,
I met with Jeff and John, and I don't know if you had a chance to look this over real quick, John, but I mean, I think these were our points out of our meeting.
Yep.
I feel like that's solid.
Yep.
You know, basically on eligibility, both of them felt like the employee needed to be here at least 6 months, but also, as I mentioned to them, you know, if you got a really talented person and maybe there's a class or a certification that comes up and it's only given once a year, maybe they've only been here 2 or 3 months, you may want to leave that open. So that's why I put that as manager's discretion.
okay.
Tuition would be for golf-related, you know, some type of golf-related professional certification, you know, and I put this second one in there, and we can talk about it. I just kind of left it. Maybe if we do have an employee who wants to take something else that maybe they feel like could enhance, that they could come to us and we can discuss it as a board, and we can just strike that. I just kind of threw it in there as a thought.
Can I just interject? I think in some cases, I mean, you may have an employee that is somewhat proficient in Spanish and wants to enhance that. I think that would be a course that would be well worth supporting them on that because of the crew we have.
So that's why I kind of
Yeah,
put
so
that
something like
statement in
that,
there. So
yeah.
if somebody really wanted something and they came to Jeff or John,
You
not
know.
leave it up to them, Jeff and John can bring it to us and we can discuss it as a board.
Right, but it's something like
That
that, I
seems
think
fair
you
enough,
would,
right.
you
Or maybe a
know,
merchandising.
merchandising or
something like that.
accounting or, yes, so absolutely.
So I just kind of left it in there as a caveat.
I think we should,
Do it.
absolutely.
As far as the application of the funds, it would be used to tuition or some other fee that the institution charges. I didn't want to get into reimbursement for meals or anything like that,
Right.
mileage, that kind of crap. Both of them felt that $2,000 per eligible employee, you know, was solid, because I think that one, John, correct me, I think there's already one of those certifications, it's like almost $1,800 right now. Kind of put a little pad in there, and then I just kind of put that, you know, any amount about that, we would have to approve as a board.
How many employees are going to do in a year? Yeah, how many are eligible?
Eligible. Wait, they're talking, usually we got like 2 or 3?
Two.
2.
I have 2, well, and that's why I was looking at this, one of them's on the common grounds and one of them's on the golf course. So, like Jay on number 2 says tuition applied to golf-related professional certifications. I mean, he's going for his turf degree, but
Yeah.
it's on the common ground. So I don't know if that,
He's still supporting the golf course
Right.
and the community, so I would think
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
under
I
our
guess we could
jurisdiction,
change
so.
that to, I don't know.
Golf, well, we can figure out how to,
That's golf related.
it is turf, it's turf,
right, yeah, okay.
right. And it's right up against the golf course, so, and it's being managed by the CDD, which manages the golf, so this is fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, this hasn't been a big deal, really. It hasn't, but at least we can get something on paper. And
Right.
it takes a little bit off them. If an employee would come up and say, hey, I want to take this course, well,
Right.
it doesn't really have anything to do with golf, then we can discuss it.
Right.
Well, it's good for recruiting too.
Exactly, I do agree with that, that there might be somebody in this, you know, like, hey, I'll hang out here. Anyway. And then the last point was just, you know, I think you got to do a periodic review, especially if how expenses continue to go up.
Yeah.
You might have to, you know, you'll know that too, because clearly you guys follow what those certifications cost.
So we'll look at that every budget year when you look at that.
But anyway, that's what we kind of threw together, and it's open for discussion, and maybe I missed some things, I don't know, John, I think I hit what we pretty much.
Absolutely, yeah, I mean, that's why I just brought that up, but as long as you're on board with it, just, you know.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to accept this employee tuition reimbursement policy.
I have a question.
Oh, I know, we'll do a second, and then we can discuss it.
A second.
Okay. Any discussion?
Yeah, we didn't put in any dating on post reimbursement as far as employment. Is there any language you want to put in there? I mean, I don't want to reimburse somebody and then they leave a month later.
Yeah, we talked about that, and, I mean, Tony, you might be able to, we can certainly, when we were having our discussion, I said, well, we can put something in here, but it's been my experience, and even as signing some of these documents for other people I've worked with, it's pretty hard to enforce that.
Yeah.
You know, even though you sign a document,
Even a non-compete document doesn't always hold.
exactly. So, I mean, we could certainly add a statement in there, but I would even talk with these guys, it's like, well, where we say something, we would like for you to stay for another year, we would certainly find it benefit to us if you stay for a year after this course, but they're tough.
But
They're tough to enforce.
It would be a provision saying to recognize that if they leave within a certain period of time after completion of the reimbursement, then you pay the money back either prorated or totally, and they agree to all that, and then the way to enforce would have to go to small claims court.
Exactly.
Right.
By the time you pay, I mean, John would be in small claims court, there's no need to send an attorney to go.
Right.
Right.
I mean, you can always, then you try to get it back, then you get a judgment, and judgments are fun to try to chase sometimes. And I mean, it's just a way to ensure the person's going to be a good employee and follow through. But I think you go into the program thinking this person is a good candidate for it just generally. And if they decide to go on to greener pastures, I think that was part of the discussion, is that we're always encouraging people to improve themselves. I mean, you hate to pay for them to then leave, but that happens in the real world.
Sure. And I agree, we initially, that was part of our conversation on this, was let's make something that people would
Well,
understand.
there's one way to do it without having to put it in there, and that's to state that the reimbursement would be paid 6